Welcome to the Planet Unposted podcast. I'm Naomi Tucker, your host, and thank you for taking the time to spend with me today. This is episode 6 of season 2 of the podcast, and today's discussion is going to be about the importance of different perspectives. Now, before I jump in here with my thoughts, I wanted to invite you to like and rate the podcast on whatever platform you're listening. Thank you so much to those that already have done this. I have seen your kind remarks and just really, truly appreciate all of your support. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, I would love to hear your leadership stories. If you have the Anchor app on your phone, or if you don't, go ahead and download it. Go to the Planet on a Posted page. You'll see a message button, and you can leave me a personal message. I would love to hear your leadership questions and your challenges, and hopefully we'll be able to answer them in future episodes of the podcast. Now, as I'm recording this today, tomorrow, February 12th, is going to be our book club discussion, where we're going to be discussing the book Boundaries for Leaders by Henry Cloud. Now, join us for the discussion over there on Facebook Live. It's at 8 p.m. Central Time. We're going to be really discussing the importance of setting boundaries as leaders. Hear insights from the book. I'll share my insights. I would love to hear yours. And then be able to get tips to be able to guide us through 2020 and help us set effective boundaries and just be the best leaders that we can be in 2020. So come on over, Facebook page, Planet on a Post-it, tomorrow, 8 p.m. Central Time. We'd love to be able to see you there. Now, I have another important announcement. We have our next book club selection that has been selected for book club, and the book is going to be Everything is Figure-Outable by Marie Forleo. I'm excited about this book. I've been really watching, Marie's, transition into really this book, and just been really excited to be able to have this be a book that I am going to read, and I'm just hoping that it would just help everyone as well. So we'll be discussing that book on April 8th. So that's the next book club date. You're probably going to be the first ones to know. So get your book now. You do have plenty of time to join us for the discussion. It gives you a good, month, almost 2 months to get the book and read the book. And you can even do audiobook if you really, really need to. So definitely, that's our next book club book. I really hope you mark your calendars for April 8th and join us for that discussion. So I wanted to share this quote with you. It is not our differences that divide us. It is our inability to recognize, accept, and celebrate those differences. I'll repeat it again. It is not our differences that divide us. It is our inability to recognize, accept, and celebrate those differences. I just want to thank David Guerin at davidguerin.com for posting this quote on his blog. I wanted to talk to you about this today. It really impacted me a lot. It's a wonderful quote. I don't know who quoted it. It is kind of by an unknown person quoted it. But if anyone knows, please send me a message. We're all different. We all have different perspectives on how we view situations. But really what causes the tension with relationships and with situations is our inability to recognize, to accept, and to celebrate the differences that we do have. And I started thinking about this more as a result from last week's podcast in episode 5, where we talked about the importance or having difficult conversations as a leader. Because sometimes we get to a point where we agree to disagree, or we have an open mind to a team member about their point of view from their perspective. And that can be hard because perspective is so individualized. It is so unique. It is a sum of the total experiences that this person that you have on your team has. Now, their experiences shape them into who they are, and they look at the world and how they lead is a part of all that perspective. In order to get to common ground, to truly understand why things happened the way they did, or why they said what they said, has a lot with you understanding and recognizing experiences and who they are today as a result of that sum of experiences. So, how do you do that as a leader? I mean, how can you possibly know all of your team's most defining moments of their lives? Well, my friends, you have to listen. You have to listen and be truly, truly present and have an open mind. And when you listen, you can truly acknowledge and recognize their stories. Because usually when you listen, your team members do share. I had a team member, and this is just a quick story. I had a team member who I'll just have nameless for now, but she shared a story with me kind of in one of our chats that we had together on how she was raised. She was really the type of person that always thrived when she was really let go and given the bandwidth to do her own thing. When her mother always tried to put limits on her, and she had so many funny stories, but whether that meant holding her hand in the store or saying that she couldn't do certain things, she really took that as a challenge to do the exact opposite. I kind of feel for her mother, but it really gave me insight as a leader listening to her story. It gave me so much insight as to how she worked as an individual and how she led. She was the team member that I heard the least from, but the one that I really trusted the most. And I just knew that she thrived in situations where she could truly, be able to truly take off and truly shine. And so when I recognized that to be her story, it opened up a whole other world in our relationship at work. So that's just a really quick example on how accepting someone's story when you hear it can be extremely valuable. Now, celebrating the differences that each other has, whether it be their perspective, their background, their personal views, can only come through true understanding and acceptance. Knowing the story of your teammates, where they come from, can truly help you celebrate the stories, the moments and decisions that they make as leaders reporting into you. If you know that someone struggles with, let's say, confrontation due to an experience they have in their past, now how amazing would it be when that person finally stands up for the right situation and that they believe in, and they do that without effort? These are areas in which we can shine as leaders because we're helping support them in the growth that we see because we know their stories. Now, be careful of being a leader that sets yourself up as the only authority and believes that your perspective is the only one. I really appreciate David Guerin because he mentioned this as well in his blog posts. So, for example, if you say things like, "I know for a fact," or "you're wrong," or "you just don't get it," you really should do your homework on that. That doesn't matter. No one agrees with you. That never works. Now, if you hear yourself often saying those type of phrases, then you might want to do a reality check on yourself. Change your perspective. Listen to your team. Have a different approach. Now, there are times where there is a clear wrong that was made, a clear violation of policy that you need to address as a leader. Now, this is absolutely fine. It's still important, though, even in these situations, to understand the perspective of your team member or even your client. Perhaps it uncovers areas of opportunity that you can either closely monitor the next time or set some clearer boundaries. Now, finally, I believe we really need to start to evolve as leaders, as a people. Many of us have been wrestling around with others, not being willing to accept their perspective, their stories. Yet, a secret sauce to leadership is really learning to recognize and not wrestle, accept and not push back, and celebrate and not condemn. When we can do this, we truly evolve into better leaders and understand and listen and lift up our teams instead of tearing them down. Well, I really hope that this helped you gain some insight in the importance of different perspectives. I encourage you the next time when you're working with a client or a team member to be open, to listen, and to have that form your response to them. And that's it. So I know it's a shorter episode. I just really wish you a great rest of your week and also happy Valentine's Day. I'm sending you all lots of love for all of your support. Again, please like this podcast if it's something you enjoy. I really, really look forward to connecting with you again. Later.